Hi, this is Zach here from Zach's Traders Cafe with a look at some major markets on Tuesday, the 13th of September. Starting off with the FTSE 100, and you can see that there's been this break back below the 50-day moving average of 67.56. Initial August support of 66.15. Probably not worth being much more, trying to be much more clever than suggesting that while we're below the 50-day line, we're going to head back down to the initial August support. Overall, probably still a sideways move here since the beginning of July, and obviously it is disappointing that we didn't manage to take out the 7,000 level ahead of the latest dip for the FTSE 100. Onto the DAX, and somewhat scary formation was formed yesterday with the gap to the downside for this market. That really ties up with the gap that we had to the upside at the beginning of August, creating what is called an island top formation. Basically, one would be a sell into strength now towards the top of that gap, which is 10,539, and in a way that's effectively what the market did during Monday's session. Initial support here again at the 50-day moving average of 10,356, but only an end of day close back below that would confirm that we're topping out here on the DAX and looking for a move back down towards the top of, or rather the floor of this rather wide range that we've had, say 9,500 to 10,500 over the last few months. On to Wall Street, where it's jitters regarding the Fed rate hike, or jitters or not rather. It was suggested yesterday that we'd probably see some support coming in towards 18,000 resistance. That was in June and July, and that's what happened in the on that session that we had to start the week. So that allows us to suggest that we are in the rising trend channel from May with its floor towards 18,000, and this could mean that we resume the overall uptrend or the break higher that we've had so far this year. There is some resistance at 18,421, at least while we're below that, the 50-day moving average. There may be some caution in terms of how far yesterday's bounce could proceed. For the S&P, similar situation as we saw at the Dow. 2120, 2130 was regarded as being the notional support area, and in fact the low of 19 just about tied in with that. We're going to have some resistance here at the 50-day moving average of 2165, so if you're cautious, maybe you want to see that broken. But this market did leave a gap and effectively gap down through the 50-day line, so that is a warning of a potential extended breakdown for leading US stocks, but obviously still something in play just at the moment. Onto the Nasdaq, and here bounced a bear trap rebound from below the 50-day moving average of 47.08. While we're above that, one could be looking for a return to the best levels of the year so far, towards the 48.40 zone. Initial resistance coming in towards 47.83 10-day moving average, and up towards 4,800. And if you want to have some evidence that the worst is over, then you would wait for a clearance of that area before going long again, if you haven't already been bottom fishing the move towards the 50-day moving average. Onto the currencies, and clearly sidelined a bit by the antics on the equity markets, but cable still within this range, really. 131.53, the 50-day moving average, and up to 134.30, which is recent, or rather 134.45, which is recent September resistance. Technical glass here half full, so we are looking towards 134.35, given that the RSI at 55 is over the neutral 50 level. For the euro, we've seen, let's say, a really sideways move, totally dead price action over the last few sessions. Some support there from the 10-day moving average of 112.09 and resistance through 113, but really you want to see a proper break here, an emphatic move before getting involved in trading this market. Really does look exceptionally dull at the moment for the single currency. Dollar yen also surprisingly quiet, given the increase in volatility that we had through Friday and Monday. No end of day close back below the 20-day moving average at 101.75, and therefore we're still waiting on a new leg to the downside. RSI 47, so that is the way we are facing, but clearly an end of day close back above the 50-day moving average at 102.64 would change the picture, and so we're really waiting on those two triggers, the 20 or the 50-day moving averages, to kick in to give us direction. Finishing off with gold, and also rather sidelined here. We're really looking for or waiting on an end of day close above the 50-day moving average at 1336 to give us a new leg or a possible new leg to the upside. There's also resistance from July up to 1350, but a break above the 50-day moving average now would be what the bulls are currently looking for. That's it from me. More updates at the same time tomorrow.